Everybody, we are back. It is Safe to Launch Favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me and at mholder95 for Matt. And of course, always pandasups.com, discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, Matt. So the Raiders won again, right?
The
Won
first
again.
winning streak of the season, man.
First winning streak of the season. They finally have won 2 in a row. From a classic quote from Major League. A third. That's what we call a winning streak.
Winning streak, yeah.
Right.
It's like the Raiders and the Chiefs, like peaking at the end of the year, at the end of the season. Right on par. Exactly the same situation.
Yeah,
saving their most dominant win for Christmas week or whatever.
Yeah, it's the perfect week, man. They were making fun of me on Friday Night Live about my haircut. I guess the Raiders are 2-1 since I got my hair redone. So it might be my fault.
This is bad. What did I do? What did you do differently?
What? You can't even
line it up.
That's very white of you, Matt, to not be able to tell that I got my hair done. It's okay though. It's all right, man.
I apologize for my whiteness. Trust me, I try. It's winter. I try getting a tan, but it doesn't go away. You did the braids a little differently, the twist.
Yeah. I changed up I cut a little bit and mixed it up a little bit. But yeah, they're 2-1 since then. So it might be my fault, man. I might really take myself. I
don't know. I got a haircut like 2 weeks ago, and that seemed to spark a winning streak. Nobody noticed.
It might be. See, everybody, all the hair changing. Glenn cut his hair. Matt got a haircut. You know what I mean? And then I got.
Should have kept it growing. Should have kept the tank beard or the tank cuts going on.
We should have, man. I don't know. We should have just kept letting it grow until the Raiders got a win, and then maybe we should have made these decisions, right? All right. But yeah, Raiders win 25-10. Probably their best performance of the season.
Their first 2-possession win of the entire season. I think, like, defensively, other than a 2-minute drive and a trick play, like that was dominant. I think I was looking at it. They had 9 passes defended. I don't know for sure, but that's got to be a season high. 2 picks. Do they have another game? I feel like they have one more game where they might have had 2 picks in the game. But either way, like, easily their most dominant performance on defense. And they actually had a chance to crack 30. Obviously they didn't, but I don't know. What did they get 26 in the Ravens game? So like their second highest scoring game. Yeah. Like I said, man, peaking at late December, just when you want to be at your best.
Yeah,
them and the Chiefs,
right? After Thanksgiving is when you want to peak. Is when you want to play your best football, leading into nothing, right? Because the Raiders are now 9th at the draft position. It's crazy. They're 4-12 and they're picking 9th. That's nuts in the first place, but
that is the fucked up thing. Is like 4-12 last year. That's what the Commanders were, and they picked 2nd. And the Raiders are picking 7 spots behind that.
Yeah,
at 9 and tied with like a bunch of other teams.
But yeah, on that note, weren't the Jets like 7-10 last year or something, or like 6 and they picked 10?
Yeah,
that's sick.
So is it now like the pick they got for Devontae Adams will now be ahead of their own pick in the 3rd round? I wonder if that's how it works out. Not that it makes that much difference because they got the 3rd round pick for Devontae, and now they have the same record as Devontae and the Jets. So,
yeah, it'll be a high 3rd round pick. Let's say that. Maybe they can get something to move up with that. If they like one of these quarterbacks. Yeah, it's. Well, Vinny said the lowest they can fall is 10 at 4-12.
The problem is now they can tie because the Saints are still behind them in the draft or whatever, ahead of them in the standings because they have 5 wins. But now if they end up tied, if they beat the Chargers next week, which I don't know who the Saints picking, but I'm taking the other team that they're playing, as we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Like now, if the Raiders and the Saints end up tied, they have the tiebreaker, which is the tiebreaker you don't want to have.
Yeah, and Aiden O'Connell is he's tank. He's the anti-tank guy, man. He is Davis Mills. Like, he's Davis Mills 10.0. It's not even 2.0. He is just the anti-tank guy. right? He kept the Raiders from tanking last year. He went for what 5-5 as a starter last year.
Or sorry, 5-5, 5-4 down the stretch, right?
As a starter, what is he this year? He's 2-3 as a starter, right? Uh,
He's the perfect Raiders quarterback for the last like 5 years. Just keep him right at that 7, 8, 9 win mark. Just keep it going, baby.
yeah, man, just keep it
Keep
at 8
smoothing.
wins. We know if Aiden Carter played the whole season, the Raiders are getting 7. That's what we know.
Yeah.
Right now at this point is the Raiders are getting 7, and maybe
We're,
they got a really good defense in a run game, they might get 10.
yeah.
That's what,
We're on in the hunt graphic until like the last week of the season. We're on the
the
graphic.
Colts.
Like you get the hope. You get the little glimmer of hope. You're like, 2 games? You need 8 other teams to lose? That could happen.
Yeah. See, I don't know. This maybe it kind of is Mr. December.
Maybe. It's so annoying too because the Giants who look dead in the water for the last like 2 months, 1-2. If they could if the Raiders could just tank properly, we'd be sitting there with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Getting their pick of whoever they want, whether you want them have a quarterback or not. You want Travis Hunter, he's yours. But that's the way this season. Even when they win, it's frustrating.
Nothing goes right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, as I'm saying, like the offense looked pretty good today. I mean, they actually scored touchdowns in the red zone, which was crazy, right? That was something that we haven't seen before. Them just going 50%. I mean, that's wild. Something that we haven't seen all year. I guess they're better in the red zone with Getsy, but with Getsy they didn't get there. So it was like it's like the difference between Scott Turner and Getsy is like Scott Turner got you the red zone, but then you can't score a touchdown. Getsy couldn't get you there at all, but if he did get you there, you scored a touchdown. So it was that's what we're seeing for Scott Turner here. So I mean, Scott Turner had a good game. Amir Abdullah is the guy who,
dude. I don't know. Like the last like month, I feel like he's had pretty damn good games. Like I feel like he's had either close to or over 100 total yards or yards from scrimmage, like in each of the last few games. Yeah. I don't know if his next contract's going to be with the Raiders because I don't know what the direction they're going to go with. But the dude has absolutely played his way into one more year. I think he's at 10 right now, or year 11, or even cracking double digits. And I mean, for a 31-year-old running back, not bad. Not a bad career he ended up carving out after being a little bit of a bust coming out of Nebraska, and then ended up reviving his career. But yeah, dude balled out today. Highest yard or most yards of his career, peaking at 31. Talk about peaking at the right time for a running back.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. With the Raiders starting to get a running game, and then both of these guys get hurt because he got hurt today too. You know, he hurt his foot today.
Yeah.
So I mean, back to Madison next week. So maybe they do lose. You know. Back to Madison. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's the kind of the factor that we're seeing here is that I feel like the Raiders have a cursed running game or something, because as soon as they get the running game gets going, the dude it hurts his foot. I mean, it's happened twice now. He's super quarterback like, hey, maybe they have a run game, hurts his foot. We're doing like, whoa, man, this is pretty good, and then hurts his foot. So it'll be interesting, but. Yeah, he looked really good though. He did. I mean, and I talked about it earlier in the season, like after like maybe it was the Broncos game where he had the longest run of the season, that he's probably like out of Zamir White, Alex Madison, and him, he was the best running back, just the guy who should be getting the carries. And we saw that today. I mean, he should have been the guy getting the carries. So since earlier in the season, they tried to keep the Zamir White, Alex Madison thing going way too long. And, we saw if Abdullah did get the chance in the system with this line, he could do his thing, and that's what we saw today. But yeah, it is somebody that the Raiders, I wouldn't mind bringing back because he'd be cheap. Like what is he like $1.5 million? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is I don't know. Does he want to actually go because at this point, the way he's finished the season, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a contending team that needs a third down back that would want to bring him in. You know what I mean? If he wants to finish his career with a chance to at least make a playoff run, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see the Raiders necessarily being in that category, or at least not what you're thinking of that in the offseason. So I could see him trying to go somewhere else, I don't know, like Philly or something like that. I don't know if they need a third down back, but a team like that would want to use him.
Yeah.
He's proven that in that role. He's helped he's contributed to the receiving game today. What do you have, 40, 50 receiving yards too.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, man. He had like a whole bunch of scrimmage yards, bro. I thought he'd like, that's what I'm saying, but he's played well all year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's Astro Vader is mad that he's saying Amir Abdullah's cheeks. He's not cheeks. He's a third down back, so he never really got a chance to even run the ball like
Basically.
that ever in his career.
Yeah.
I mean, probably like in his first couple years at the Lions, and they feel like, oh, you're just a third down guy. But for a third down back, I mean, he's a very, very serviceable player, man. Catches, makes
Yeah.
players miss. He has 6 touchdowns? No, well, he didn't score a touchdown because they didn't count, but he has 5 touchdowns in the season. I mean, he's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like I am not saying that they shouldn't bring a running back in. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. I thought you said he was cheap, not cheeks.
Yeah, he's cheap.
Cheap with a P.
Yeah, I did, but the guy said he's cheeks. I said
he's cheeks. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Now I'm the one screwing it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can say that after the last, like I said, the last month because he's been one of their better offensive players.
Yeah, man, he's had a good year. He did. He's had a productive year for a third down running back. I mean, Dylan Lobby is definitely the doghouse, though. I mean, what is up with that?
Oh yeah, I didn't even get in at the end, huh? Well, they might have to play him next week.
Was he inactive? I don't think so, right?
I don't know, but yeah, oh yeah, that's right. The dude they just called up was getting touches over him, so yeah, they must.
Yeah, like who is that?
Yeah, it was legit. Like I had that same thought. I'm like, oh, we've hit that point in the season where I'm like, who is that point on the year?
Man, Lobby must be just man. Doesn't even get a carry, bro. They get some guy from Collier. Yeah, they said he was trying to kick today, but yeah, so that is crazy. That's crazy to me. But yeah, Brock Bowers balled out. What he finished with 77 catches. He had 7 catches, 77 yards. So yeah, he had that. He had that like productive game that he usually has, right? I mean, he broke the Mike Dickens records. So shout out to Brock Bowers, historic season, right? For a rookie. He set the record for most catches by a Raiders player in a season. He's just a rookie. Like he doesn't even have a quarterback yet. He doesn't have a quarterback that can get him. I mean, Aiden O'Connell played well today, right? I mean, even though like I still think that there were some throws that he missed, and there's probably some things that I'm not gonna like looking at his film just because he's Aiden O'Connell. But he looked serviceable today, right? And I mean he is a competent NFL quarterback. That's not a compliment, but he is a competent NFL quarterback.
He looks like the game manager that we were hoping that they would be able to get at the beginning of the season from him, basically. Like where he wasn't like turning the ball over, wasn't making like a ton of boneheaded plays, and then just kind of keeping them on schedule offensively. That was my take on it. It's like it wasn't bad. It was just there just wasn't much exciting. I mean, the ball he did throw to Myers down the sideline for like 30. That was a nice one, but that's kind of what you expect from Aiden O'Connell. It's like the 1 or 2 really nice plays, and other than that, just playing mistake-free football.
Yeah. He didn't throw the ball in traffic. In my opinion, he didn't have any like what they call turnover-worthy plays or anything like that.
Yeah.
I thought the offensive line played pretty well. He had a lot of time, right, to get those. Because even like the touchdown to Tucker, man, that was more the offensive line because he looked like he was trying to panic on that throw. Like he looked like he was trying to panic. He's like, oh no, I'm about to get sacked. He's like, oh wait a second, and then
I got time,
and he threw a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like so, those type of things are he's a competent NFL quarterback. I'm not saying that he's a starter or anything like at this point, but yeah, you're right. That, he is inconsistent in those things, but he's just a competent quarterback. He's a tiny bit better than a backup, but you would want him to be your backup.
I feel like he's becoming like the perfect bridge starter kind of guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Where it's like I'm not going to put my faith in the franchise in this guy, but if they were to get like a quarterback in the draft or something like that, like you would feel like you would be fine with them like keeping Aiden O'Connell as the guy to like basically keep things afloat until the rookie's ready to go.
Yeah,
and Jacoby Brissett this year, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Jacoby Myers looked good too. So I mean, some people are saying that Jacoby Myers might be traded, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I think they should find a way to keep him. But yeah, these guys are they offense played well today. I mean, let's keep it real. They went down the field on the Saints, basically at will. I mean, they had they had the ball at the 6 and they went all the way down the field, score touchdown. I mean, how many times have we seen that from the Raiders this year?
Yeah.
That has not happened a lot, right? A lot more explosive plays, a lot of things that you liked from this football team. So, it really was the best game because even on defense, I guess we get to the defense a little bit. Tyree Wilson had a good game.
Stood up, yeah. Got a sack in there at the end. A couple nice plays against the run. But yeah, good game, yeah.
Tyree Wilson played well, man. We got Chase on. He continues to have a good game as well. He continues to play well. He got the sack fumble, but he didn't get recovered. But he played well too. I thought they stopped the run pretty well. Jack Jones had a good game. Right?
Yeah. Jack Jones led the team. Jack Jones did what we were hoping he'd do all year. Led the team in passes defended. I think he had 3. So got that needed a bounce back performance, and obviously I gave him a little bit of crap on the review show. But he shut me up a little bit today. He had a good game.
Yeah, and I mean, I still understand why he didn't return that for a touchdown. Get up, man, and run. There's nobody around you. They're all staring at you. Just get up and just go.
Yeah.
Get that pick 6. For the Raiders, you always get. The only thing you do is you get pick 6s. So
yeah.
that would have been fitting. So with that, I mean, the defense played well. Spencer Rattler, they did have a lot of drops today. He's playing with a lot of bums. I thought he actually looked pretty good today. To be honest, I thought he had a pretty good game.
Rattler, yeah. I mean, I think I do feel bad for him because I think we talked about it on the preview of like the Saints were down basically half their starting offense. I mean, granted, Rattler's included in that, but they're down their best offensive lineman. I don't even think we brought. Or I think mentioned it. Ramzik's been out all year for him, who was on one of their best dudes. Center's out. They got basically 2 guards playing offensive tackle, signing guys off the street to play wide receiver for him. MVS is their number 1 right now, next to Dante Pettis. So I did feel bad for him. I mean, yeah, I thought he did all right. I mean, again, you see the arm talent is there for sure from them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the point. I mean, there's something you could work with. I guess. I mean, just because of the arm talent, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
for
don't
sure.
know if he'll ever be like a great starter, but it's all right. It's all right, man. Didn't play too bad. But yeah. I mean, as I said, it was the most complete Raiders game that we've seen all year, and it's at a point where the Raiders don't really need it. But it is what it is. Like it is what it is. Because the thing is, it's more to me. It's not even about the draft position and the Raiders winning these games. It's more that they still have 12 losses.
Yeah,
and
if you're not on Team Tank, the frustration is where's this been all year type of deal.
Yeah.
Again, I know they're playing a beat up and a bad team, but like they haven't played anything close to this, and it's frustrating that they had saved their best game for when they've been or eliminated from the playoffs for over a month now, something like that, like officially eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah. That's the frustrating part. I don't know. It's just frustrating to me that everything that's happening with this team. It's just so frustrating, man. I don't know, dude. It's just it's like, why play good now? You know what I mean? Like, it's just and then it kind of goes back to like, if you start 8 the whole season, maybe they're not even in this situation.
I get that argument, but at the same time, like we watched Aiden O'Connell in the preseason and we heard, I mean, granted, we weren't at training camp every day, and like he wasn't playing well enough. Like Gardner Minshew kind of outplayed him in between practice and in the preseason. Like when I was talking about of him not turning the ball over, like he did that in that last preseason game or that second preseason game where pick six just basically screwed him. And from the sounds of it in training camp and practice, he was screwing up as well. Like
yeah. Like they said, why play good now? Because we're frustrated. Trust me, we definitely.
By the way, my barber just texted me asking for a shout out. So shout out Gerald Santos. Hit him up for the best if you're in the Sacramento area. Get some haircuts, get some fresh cuts. Sorry, Gerald. I got to clean it up a little bit and get you some better marketing going.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the answer to that question is why play good now is because they're professionals. But it's more about like if you're a fan, like we've had to watch. We went 3 months without a win, so
yeah. And I mean, I know we talked about it last time, and like I think part of it too. Like I don't know if you saw this, Marcus. Like Vic tweeted out before the game, like big game for Antonio Pierce, and I think who was it? Someone reported that basically like like Mark Davis is going to like let this game decide like Antonio Pierce's future. Like when that's on the line, and like especially when you know that, like it's a matter of okay, well if we don't win this game, I'm not going to be here anyway. So why the hell do I care? And if you're a
Yeah.
guy like Amir Abdullah, who again is fighting for one more contract in the NFL, like you're not just going to roll over. If
Yeah.
you're Clavon Chason, who's again had a career like just looking to revive his career this entire year and is on a 1-year deal, you're going to play your ass off. If you're Tyree Wilson, who's trying to like make something out of his career and stop being labeled the bust,
Yeah.
you're going to play your ass off too. So
Yeah.
it's easy for us to say from here, but I get 100% why no one in the building actually wants to tank, except for maybe Mark Davis and Tom Telesco.
Yeah, and I get that too. And I expect the Raiders to win this game, so I'm not shocked by
Yeah.
this, right? I mean, we talked about the Raiders winning these 3 games. I mean, after the loss to the Falcons, right? You can imagine. That's what I'm saying. If Aiden O'Connell played that game, the Raiders are looking at 6-11. So you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's keeping their job. You know what I'm saying? AP, you finish that year out. AP keeping his job. I don't know.
Smoking cigars in the locker room.
Yeah, it would be totally different. So we would feel totally different about this. So, I don't know. It's just like when you're looking at it from the aspect of like, especially even like you bring up like our YouTube views, man. Like shit, where was this shit? At the beginning of the year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could have used it.
Yeah, we could have used this
would
shit.
help us out a little bit.
Bullshit, you know what I mean? All right, all right, here we go. Let's get to these questions. Didn't watch the game, but Andre James back at center. They played well.
Yeah, he was playing.
They played well. They did. A lot of holes that they really went up front. I mean, even Madison was getting some 6-yard runs today. So it tells you a lot. So what does the QB room look like next year if the Raiders draft a 10 or higher? Do they roll with AOC? QB like Darnold? Or are they open to bringing back DC? Or is it MD? I don't know.
We can. I think we can cross Derek Carr off.
Yeah, we got the Derek Carr coming back dream to go. I mean,
I've gotten that a few times.
I don't want to deal with that. He's just too polarizing. It's just too much. He's too polarizing. Like let's keep that. I don't want to have his press conferences is like taken down to every word. Every single word he says is broken down on Twitter. You know what I mean? Those things are just things that I just don't have to. I don't want to deal with anymore. So that's why I'm good on that.
I know the question brought up Darnold, but like, I mean, do we think the Vikings are legitimately going to let Sam Darnold walk in this offseason with the way that their season's gone? Like, I kind of feel like there might. Like, I want to float this out there and get your thoughts. Like, if you're the Vikings, I would not be surprised if they signed Darnold to an extension because of the way the season has gone, and then they try and flip JJ McCarthy to get some value back for him. If that happens, especially if they're picking 9th or 10th, like it looks like they are, I don't know. I kind of like to see the trade for JJ McCarthy. What quarterback are you getting at 9 or 10 that would be better than JJ McCarthy?
My rebuttal to that is that I think the Vikings would have to win the Super Bowl for that to happen. The Vikings would have to go all the way. Sam Darnold they win the Super Bowl, because then that's when you can't really get rid of him, because that's what happens. You go the Carson Wentz route, because if you go with Carson Wentz instead of Nick Foles, right? How does the team keep playing, right? And that's the only thing I feel like would keep them from going in that direction and moving on with JJ McCarthy. And they might even because let's say they lose in the NFC Championship game. If they lose the NFC Championship game, who's going to get the blame? It's going to be Sam Darnold, right? If they lose in the division round, Sam Darnold's going to get the blame for something he did that he lost. Blah 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 blah. Media's going to kill him just because they have JJ. He would literally have to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Possibly.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I can see what you're saying. Like, he might get the blame in the media, but I feel like if you're the Vikings, the way this season's gone, like, their only 2 losses are to the Lions and then the Rams on a short week when the Rams were starting to get healthy. Like,
yeah,
the way he's played this year, like, I just have a hard time seeing them willingly letting him go with the way the season's gone. Like, I don't know, maybe. And at that, if you do sign him, obviously, I think McCarthy becomes available. Like, because you got another young quarterback that's locked into potentially a long-term deal.
Yeah. I feel like he has. I just feel like
Humor me a little bit. If let's say they do sign Sam to a
okay.
long term deal, are you in on trading for JJ McCarthy
Hell
or
yeah.
no?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Why not?
there we go. I like it.
He's better than these prospects. I know that. That's all.
I like it. I like it.
I would do it. Shit. I mean, it depends on what they want for it, though. That's the thing. I wouldn't give up the first round pick, right? See, are you giving him pick number 9 for JJ McCarthy? That's
You might have to because I feel like there are other teams that might like look again looking how we talked about this quarterback class. I feel like there are other teams that might be willing to give up or might be willing to trade for McCarthy.
Mhm.
But the way I look at it is like I wouldn't. If it was a second, I'll pick up the phone for Tom Telesco and make that deal. But if it is the 9th pick, like I mean, JJ McCarthy went 10th last year. Like if the Raiders had the 10th pick, they would have taken him last year. I mean, I guess you have one less year of team control and like the knee injury, but it was torn meniscus. So it wasn't like a huge deal. But
I wouldn't do it. Nah, not for 9. Not for 9.
then
Man.
what are they going to do at quarterback if they don't get him?
Oh man, I feel like we're the other part of this question. I feel like we're in Carson Beck range here. The second round, Carson Beck. He did declare. He declared for the draft.
Please no, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
we're getting to the darkness here. Well, you know what I'm saying. We're getting close because when you actually look at it, after Cam Ward and Sugar Sanders, that's where it gets really muddy, right? And that's where you get to these second round guys. And I saw another question asking, I guess that question where somebody asked, like, who are the second round guys? And it's Carson Beck is the second round guy at this point.
I mean, Milrow,
right? Yeah.
I don't know who I'd like between them. Is he? I think he. I don't know if he's declared, but they haven't played their bowl game yet. And I think a lot of the Bama guys are waiting till after that. Because like their linebacker Jahad Campbell hasn't declared, and he's probably going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like if you are, I feel like if you are going to miss out on those top two, like then the first round pick for McCarthy makes a little bit more sense because I want nothing to do with Carson.
I don't know. I would rather take a player there, in my opinion. I don't know. It just feels icky. We haven't seen him play, so it's like I guess it's kind of the same thing, but it's like because you're just not giving up a first, though. You know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Because you'd be giving up a first and something else.
Oh no! If it's a first plus, then I have more pause. Then I have a lot more pause. And it's like what else is it? But if it's just the first, if it's just the 9th pick, do it.
All right. Vic Taylor mentions supporting game for Pierce. What do y'all think about that? Ooh, I don't know.
I mean, I said it last week, like, and this is my fear. I just hope whatever decision, like I almost hope Mark Davis made his decision like a couple weeks ago of like whether or not he's going to stick with Antonio Pierce or move on from him. Like if he's going to let a 2-game win streak against Mac Jones and the Jaguars and Spencer Rattler and the freaking and the Saints, like that kind of worries me that's the measuring stick. Like what are we doing here? Where yes, I understand their wins and yes, the Raiders did play their best game, but at the end of the day, like. Please look at the opponent and look at how bare they were this last week. Like that worries me. The fact that like that's the deciding factor for you, like beating 2 bad teams.
Yeah,
that worries me a little bit.
And maybe a deplete the preseason Chargers next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, it's still Jim Harbaugh might be like tough guy stuff and want to go out there and play. So we'll see. I don't know if he'll sit the guys. I have to research if he sat the guys with the Niners when they clinched, whether they played games or not. Also, didn't they? Yeah, we talked about.
Pretty sure Abdul is I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure he's a free agent this year.
Where do you guys think the Raiders end up in draft position after next week?
I mean, probably 9 or 10. Yeah, Abdul is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, it's all depending on Jim Harbaugh's if he wants to be a tough guy. That's what we're hoping for. I mean, if you're a draft position person, if you'd like to see the Raiders win, which say I don't blame you, like as a fan, like to see the Raiders win because it does feel pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed watching that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. So you know what I mean? It was nice to watch.
It is nice to see your team play well, but
yeah.
when you look at the big picture, it is. It does get frustrating.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably some good film, pretty good film to watch. Is it Mason Graham or Will Johnson now? Maybe KG Jefferson from UCF. Is KG Jefferson? I don't know about
Yeah, I
that.
don't think you watched much UCF. KJ Jefferson's been pretty bad.
Yeah. Did he get benched?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. RJ Harvey though. That's a good pick. RJ Harvey's a good player.
But as far as
Mason.
those two, the two Michigan dudes, I don't know if they're gonna be there at 9. I mean, maybe Mason Graham would be interesting, but like, then what are you gonna do with Christian Wilkins because they play the same position?
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
I mean,
Mason
Wilkins
Graham
was
on a
able.
rookie contract. I like Mason Graham a lot. I'm a big proponent of Mason Graham. I don't mind, but he'd be obviously be much younger than Wilkins, who's like sneakily getting close to 30.
Yeah.
But it would be an interesting fit as far as those two guys go.
So the thing is, like, if you draft Mason Graham, like, and you have Christian Wilkins, and they play the same position. I'm like, make it work. You can figure that out. Defensive mind.
It's funny. I think my comp on Bleacher Report for Mason Graham is Christian Wilkins.
Great replacement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you guys for trading up for Cam or Shador?
Rather not.
How high do you trade up? I like Cam Ward though. I do. I think I like Cam Ward a lot. Shador Sanders just scares me just because he just. I feel like he has limitations and he doesn't play around them. That's
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's Colorado or if that's him. And that's where we're gonna find it. I don't like that mysterious NFL guy for the most part sometimes with quarterbacks because as I said, I got to watch a lot of Jay Daniels watching the Saints. And Jay Daniels is everything I thought he was in college. He looks like he was the NFL, right? There's no mystery. Like I'm watching him, he's hitting the same throws he was hitting at LSU with the same accuracy. He's making the same plays with his legs. Like Shador Sanders is like a mystery to me because I don't know if it's just him playing with his dad and he doesn't have like this like guy on him with like you're gonna do this with serious structure to coach him up a little bit. Because when his feet are set, he looks like a totally different player. But he just kind of just
Sometimes I feel like he tries to be like Cam Ward, but he's not. And he doesn't realize it. Like the last night, if anybody watched that bowl game, like that sack he took, that took him, or I guess they still kicked the field goal, but it made it like from like the difference like a 30 and like a 45-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Like that's the Shador Sanders that scares me, where like you go back and watch his like 2023 tape, like that was constant where he just kept trying to like make things happen and kept trying to overcompensate for a bad offensive line and made the problem worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, for like there were flashes of it, but he looked better at it. And then again, like they start getting down, and he starts trying to like get over his skis a little bit and just kind of playing out of what his skill set is, and tries to do too much. So he's taking terrible sacks. Like that's like as we're talking on the field, like as far as Shador's evaluation goes, that's the biggest issue with him is he takes some god awful sacks and runs into some and does not help the protection scheme, especially when it's not good to begin with.
Yeah, and he holds the ball a lot. He holds the ball pretty long too. He holds the ball just as long as Cam Ward does, and he's a pocket passer. But the thing is, like, if when his feet are set and he is on time, and you can get his feet set and get him into a normal drop because he does this weird drop too, like it's not normal, right? And you could tell he doesn't have it's not a timing based offense that he's running. So that's what I'm saying. So maybe if you can get his feet set into a timing based offense, then you can change it a little bit with those things. But that's the mystery with him. Like he doesn't have like a lot of I would say from the arm perspective and those type of things, first round talent. So you're really kind of just drafting.
He needs to be in a Shanahan offense. Also.
Yeah, he needs a system. You know what I mean? Right. All right. So how are our draft QB position impact the hiring of a head coach? I don't know. I think they got to fire AP first at this point. I don't want AP to kind of like put a mirage over Mark Davis too, which I think might happen, which is a possibility.
The sign, like, if we were looking into the signals, we were looking into the signs like heading into this week, it seemed like AP was getting fired. But now there seems to be getting steam that he was coaching for his job a little bit, or had his job on the line today. And again, they had their most dominant game or their best game of the season. And now it seems like the momentum's swinging in the other direction, which is a scary thought again. But as far as, I think I talked about it a little bit last week. Like if they go after like a Shador Sanders, like I just said, I think you got to go after someone from the Shanahan tree and get that system for him.
Yeah.
If you want a Cam Ward, I keep telling you, man, I like the Cam Ward Joe Brady pairing. I like bringing that to Las Vegas. Those are the types of quarterbacks that Joe Brady is great with. You look at
Yeah,
Josh Allen, you look at Joe Burrow. Those are the guys that he works really well with. And I think one of the things for me, like with Cam Ward, what makes Cam Ward great is also what gets him into trouble, where you don't want to coach it out of him, the kind of hero ball that mentality, but you also don't want him to turn the ball over. So you got to find a coach that can toe that line with him. And Joe Brady to me has proven that he can do that. Joe
yeah,
Brady's proven that he can get the best out of those kind of guys. So that's kind of my take on it. If you're going after Shador, go pluck one of those Shanahan guys. Again, assuming AP gets fired, which maybe you might not. If you want to go after Cam Ward, maybe you take a swing on a young guy like Joe Brady.
yeah. I agree with that, man. Can we say confidently Aiden is better than Rattler? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Like 2 years from now, I don't know. Rattler's a rookie, but you know, we still play to draft to compete. I don't know, guys. As I'm saying, we'll see what they do. You know what I mean? Maybe they wait to the second round. You know what I mean? Maybe they take some guy at 9 that creates a buzz. Like this draft process has not even really started. So, you know what I mean? We don't know what's gonna happen with this draft. Well, winning saved AP's job. That's what kind of talked about. You might. Matt, you wrote a piece on Kate Klubnik for Bleacher. Did you?
I did not write a piece on Cam Klubnik for Bleacher Report.
Oh, it must have been somebody else.
Yes.
Maybe they signed in as you into the Bleacher Report account.
Maybe.
Do they really get somebody to be bid with again? We might, man. We might. You know what I'm saying? See, because my thing, like, Jared Goff isn't the greatest quarterback in the world, in my opinion. Like, without like the offense and the structure that he has around him in the run game, and you get him back into drop back passing, the Lions lose. So, you just got to find a quarterback that can get it done. That makes a throw when you need to make a throw. That's what Jared Goff does. You know what I mean? But like, if you get him into like where he's throwing the ball 50 times a game, he's not going to play well. So you just got to find that right formula at quarterback, and you have to have a great coach, in my opinion, that gets out of that situation. I don't know. People ask about Kyle McCord a lot. Is he coming out?
I don't know. I mean, he revived his career. I'll tell you what. He had a hell of a year at Syracuse. He passed Deshaun Watson for the most passing yards in conference history. So yeah, I don't know. We might just take a look. I mean, it was pretty ugly at Ohio State last year. But
yeah. Can AOC get better with a good OC? I mean, maybe probably. I mean, he looks pretty good, Scott Turner. He doesn't look bad. Yeah, I mean, got to build AP. Who's a better coach? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure we can find one. I still can't get over the timeouts. Yeah.
I will give him credit though. That challenge that he did, he actually should have won that one. I'm still trying to figure out how it was in the first time.
I gotta watch that play again. I don't get it. They're saying that his foot went out of bounds when he was in the air.
He had to touch it. Whatever. But yeah, I was like, wow, AP finally won a challenge. I'm like, oh no, he still didn't. Not again. That time I don't blame him because that was weird.
All right, guys. We're out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, we'll be back on Tuesday. Probably on New Year's with the what do we call it? The film review of this game. We got 2 film reviews left, guys. We got 2 film reviews left, and then this draft season. And 1 game left, right? Like I said, it's been a long season. It has. Appreciate you guys coming in and joining us for the instant reaction today. And then, of course, make sure you check out the film review. That'll be coming out. Friday Night Live will be back next week as well. So those, I think a lot of our bets hit today. They hit. We receive for college football, but we'll review that next Friday. But like I said, guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We're out of here. Peace.